Your absence leaves me colder now. We can't say we didn't try. And all the while I've lost myself somehow. Now it's come to this, where we say goodbye.
Yelling.
I thought it was coffee.
Birds fly over the rainbow.
Eyes are watering.
Seen things we'll never know. Don't look back, I'll be okay. Though it's hard for me, I'm letting you go. Fly over.
Hello.
Hey there, happy Sunday Funday.
Hi, everybody. We hope you are having a great week. Kevin, how are you today?
I'm awesome. How are you?
I'm good. I look like a burglar.
I wasn't going to say anything, but
You know, I thought this the other day when I was
if someone's robbing your house, it may as well be your wife.
I was grocery shopping. I think I was wearing the same beanie, and then I had a black face mask, and I was just like, any other time in history, like, red flag. Oh my gosh. Like, we've really normalized the burglary look.
Oh, I know. Banks, they're like, you can wear your mask. It's okay, but please
Yeah.
take off your hat because we need to ask you to remove some article. Yeah, banks are like, no hats allowed, but the
I thought
mask is okay.
Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, hi everybody. For anyone joining the show, this is your first time seeing this show, thank you so much for coming on over to our little corner of the interweb. We've got a really fun show for you today. My friend Alayna Jennings is going to be joining us. She's a dancer, poet. We've done a handful of projects together, and she's a fantastic artist, so it's going to be really fun, different. We have never had a non-musical guest, so that's going to be really fun. So how the show works is, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, leave your comments in the chat section. Hey, Val, and we'll be able to see it just like this, Exhibit A. Dawn, thanks for joining.
Yeah, nice
Good to see you.
too.
So yeah, and if you're on YouTube and you're like, I don't see where to comment, you have to sign into your YouTube account, which is also a Google account, right? Because they merged.
Yep.
That's right.
YouTube, Google. I mean,
Yeah.
basically everything, right? Like, if you have a Google account and a Facebook account, you can log into every other possible account online. That's it. That's all you need.
Banks are next. So we're going to start the show off with a cover of a song we both really, really like, and it's just one of those classic songs, so we hope to do it justice.
Yeah, so my grandma last week, I was talking to her, and she said, "Hey, can you play Hallelujah?" And Leonard Cohen obviously wrote that song, and anyway, Jeff Buckley had this incredible version of Hallelujah that he released on his album Grace, and there was another song. If you don't know that album, by the way, it's one of those like must-know albums. I think David Bowie said it was his favorite album ever written, and Jeff Buckley unfortunately drowned, so he put out one album, and I think he drowned when he was like in his early 30s. But it's an incredible album. He does a really good cover of Hallelujah, but he also, I know, to start this off, Sunday Funday. No, but this song, Lover You Should Have Come Over, I first heard it when I was in college, and I have a book of acoustic guitar songs, and a dorm mate was like, oh my gosh, it's got that song, I got to learn it. And I didn't know any of Jeff Buckley's stuff, so if you don't know it, this is one of my favorite songs of his. And hey, Taylor.
Taylor, hi.
Now, I met Taylor briefly with you.
We got crunk in...
Was this in... Where were we?
New Orleans,
New Orleans,
right?
was it? Yeah.
I don't know. We
Awesome. Hey, Mike.
We went to a bottomless mimosa breakfast place, and we stayed almost for dinner.
Yep. They were definitely bottomless. So, yeah, with that said, this is Lover You Should Have Come Over. I'll let Jessie start it.
Okay.
fall upon the funeral mourners, parading in a lake of sad relations as their shoes fill up with water. Maybe I'm too young to keep good love from going wrong, but tonight you're on my mind, so you never know. I'm broken down and hungry for your love with no way to feed it. Where are you tonight, child? You know how much I need it. Too young to hold on, and too old to just break free and run. Sometimes a man gets carried away when he feels like he should be having his fun, and much too blind to see the damage he's done. Sometimes a man must awake to find that really he has no one. So I'll wait for you and I'll burn. Will I ever see your sweet return? Oh, will I ever learn? Oh, love for you, you should have come over, 'cause it's not too late. Lonely is the room, the bed is made, the open window lets the rain in. Burning in the corner is the only one who dreams you had to with him. My body turns and yearns for a sleep that won't ever come. Oh, it's never over. My kingdom for a kiss upon a shoulder. Oh, it's never over. All my riches for smiles when I slept so soft against her. 'cause it's not too late.
Such a good song. It's like a 7-minute song that feels like a 2-minute song. So well written.
Yeah.
Awesome. We get a lot of fans of the song. I agree. I love that song as well.
Hey, Mike, thanks for joining. Hey, Addie, thanks for joining.
Now,
Good to see you
who
all.
is F Princess Productions?
Hi, Mom. Thanks for joining.
Oh, gotcha. I didn't.
Oh, I thought you were
didn't know
saying
that
that,
was,
like,
No, I didn't know
sarcastically.
that was the handle. Awesome. Hey, Mom. How are you? That makes sense.
It does. All right, everybody. We're going to bring in our special guest. This is our good friend, dancer, filmmaker, poet, nice person.
Also, you two did. Was it Angel's Landing?
A fearless hiker.
Yeah. If you two haven't heard of Angel's Landing before, it's rated as one of like the scariest hikes in the entire universe. You're hiking like this razor thin edge, like 15 miles above the sea. I'm not sure that's actually that high, but it looks incredible. So without further ado, here is our good friend Alayna.
Hi.
Hey guys,
Hey, Alayna.
how are you?
We are super good. Thanks for joining.
Thank you for having me. That was a beautiful song.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
we
you.
really like that song. It's so good. Yeah. So, where are you calling in from today?
Well, I am in LA in Jimmy Edwards' office.
Nice. Nice.
Is that Jimmy Edwards in the photo behind you, hanging on the wall?
You know, yeah. No,
Yeah.
no, it's Graham Parsons, which is so funny because I just did a live interview for the film festival that we had this past weekend. And they asked me who that was, and I was so glad that I checked ahead of time because I had no idea. I live in this house, but I had no idea who that was.
Oh, look who's here. Paige is here. Paige is your friend. This is Paige,
Awesome.
everybody.
Paige.
There we go.
Hi.
Now, Alayna, can you see the chat too? Do you have the chat window pulled up for yourself?
I do now.
Awesome. There you
Alayna
go.
giving me this ponytail. This ponytail is for you, Paige. For you. That's awesome.
It's some COVID length, right? Everyone's hair is getting.
Oh yeah, that's that brunette grow out. That's that COVID grow out.
You know, you pay for that at the salon. I mean, I paid for mine. Cool. So we're going to play a clip of Unremedied, which started off as a poem, and then we put music to it, and then she choreographed dancers and filmed it. So it's a multimedia sensory explosion. Can you preface this clip that we're about to share?
Sure. So I believe it was finished. Would you say 2018? Was when
I
it
have no
finished?
semblance of time anymore.
Oh man.
Yeah, I think like the end of 2018.
I forgot how old I was the other day. I was like, babe, am I 30 or 31? Like, it was a real question.
I think it was the end of 18, early 2019 is kind of when it was getting wrapped up.
Who knows?
Yeah, so we, I wrote this poem that I was really passionate about this cause. It was kind of the rising of the Me Too movement and a lot of unfortunate stories coming forward about sexual harassment. And I was really inspired to write this poem. And so I brought this poem to extremely talented Jessie Lark over here, and she wrote some absolutely beautiful music for me. And I was just really inspired to make a short film that spoke about the effects of sexual harassment and that brought awareness and empathy towards the issue, and Unremedied came about. So that's the clip that you're all about to see.
So we can't show the full thing because it's currently circulating the festival circuit, Did I say that right? Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
So, but we have a clip, and you guys will be able to, for sure, get an appreciation for an idea of what this is. It's really cool. So here we go.
I hope these stories continue to scream down until they deafen the poisons society has continued to leave unremedied. I hope they howl and wail until every unspoken human has released the captive victim hiding in their bones.
Oh, that was it. I was like, oh no, something happened. That was the end of the clip.
That was the
so
clip.
upset.
That was it.
I was getting invested. Sorry.
And then Jessica looked at me and she was like, "What happened?" I was like, "We're good. Let's just go back. Let's go back to the next scene."
I love it. Everyone's legs are, everyone's leg, the dancer leg muscles are incredible to me.
Would you care to comment?
Thank you.
Yeah, so.
I'm one of those dancers. Thank you.
Yes, you are. Yeah, that was really fun. That was, we're gonna play an audio, it doesn't have a video to it, but later in the show we're gonna play another piece and also that's you reading the poem, by the way. We're gonna play another song that we collabed on where I did the music and it was her poem that's just an audio, but it's, I've only had a couple experiences doing something like that. Majority, like 90%, they were your stuff. So it was really fun. It's like a really different, because normally when I write anything musical, it is in the context of like a song that I'm going to play and perform, and I'm writing the lyrics, and like the first idea came from me, right? So it was really cool to like start with something that was just her words and then like build something and write music to it, keeping in mind that it was going to be for dancers and stuff. Like that's a really unique experience for me.
Well, you're such a cinematic composer too. I don't think a lot of people know that about you.
I wouldn't call myself a composer. I did compose that, but I wouldn't.
Every song that you write is a composition. I mean,
That's a good point. Well, I mean, like.
It's just people are going around. They're not like, I'm a sonic composer. They're like, I'm a songwriter. But
when you say composer, I'm like Hans Zimmer. I'm like, no, not me.
Well, hey, it's all the same stuff. It's all the same rules of music.
Yeah, it was really cool. So yeah, you do so much, Alayna. So Alayna's gonna share some, like, these are newer poems that you've written, and you're gonna read them for us. And so, welcome to Poetry Day, guys. This is gonna be
super fun.
It's gonna be so fun.
We're excited. So we're gonna make Alayna a little bit bigger, and Alayna, we're gonna mute ourselves so we don't step on the poem.
So the floor is yours.
Yeah, take it away.
The floor is mine. Okay, well, I have 2 poems for you guys today, and I'm gonna start with the first one here. It's titled "Wooden Ceilings." All right. Memories hide in bones of clever faces, smiling bright like music to remembering I hate the lightning inside my chest. The warmth rises, finding opportunity in vulnerable places. I can scream fall thunder, but it's 2 seasons too late. Changing trees like a fresh canvas, I try painting again and again, but the picture is always the same. Trying to rewrite history with tired stamina and a mouth full of questions. Do you love me? Failure cried. It rained in July, and May flowers didn't bloom. The world turned for tomorrow, even after a Wednesday. I have so much to say and nothing to speak. But there's a violin playing, and she cries with weary silence, showing ease on each page, and tears fall soulless like a life without breathing. I stood on the outside, looking through glass at the blueprints for happiness, taking notes. These days I'd be better. Healing feels like an echo. a one-hit wonder on repeat. And my singing voice steals strings from reckless driving on highways to broken homes. I told them I'd steer right, but my heart settled on the left side. So I collect clocks with the numbers cut and pasted. So in time, I can reword love and find walls without conditions. I can't spell dependent. A minor defeat on wooden ceilings. That's good, Kevin.
That was
I'm
beautiful.
a fan of your poems. If I had to pick a favorite, I might pick that one. It definitely is in my top 3.
Thank
I
you.
love that one.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and it has so many of the elements that when you're doing songwriting, it's basically the lyrics are poetry in their own way, and so you've got
Absolutely.
you've got this rhyme scheme. What's your creative process when you're writing poetry? Do you sit down and is it more free form, kind of stream of consciousness, edit later, or do you go into it with what do you have in mind at the beginning, and how does it come from your brain to the paper?
You know what's so funny? Poetry for me is probably the most authentic way that I communicate, and I have found that in choreographing or filmmaking, where I have this like really big creative process, and I want to go from A to Z, and I can see all these things that lay out, and poetry kind of feels more like word vomit for me, and I don't really have any idea what I'm gonna say. It's almost like I'm speaking the way I hear things inside my head. And I know that that's not a normal way that people speak to each other, is what I just read to you. But like the way that I see.
So you're a savant. You talk to yourself. My brain is like, I'm hungry. You're like, this Shakespeare going on. Fantastic.
No, so it's funny too. Every I try to write almost every day, and I'll consistently read poems to Jimmy, and sometimes I'm actually not even aware of what I'm going to say until I've said all of it, and then I read it out loud, and I was like, oh my gosh, that poem's about this memory I had when I was 10 years old, but I just had no idea that that's what it was going to become. And so I think
That's cool.
I just think my process in writing poetry is I sit down, and I mean, sometimes it's as simple as like I read a title of a book that was sitting on my shelf, and all of a sudden like Wooden Ceilings comes about. You know what I mean?
It's cool.
There's an article I was just reading in Scientific American. I guess for years the magazine had a poetry section in it, and which you think about this like left brain, right brain, and art and science and how they relate. Yeah. And they've this year they actually reopened the poetry section for the first time in years, and they're looking for people who can actually come in and scientists who also write poetry, or poets who are really fascinated by like quantum physics and finding ways to take one poem a month to creatively illustrate some really complex scientific principle in an artistic way. And I thought that was pretty cool.
That is really cool. And poetry is so popular right now. It's really making a comeback. I mean, everybody, I'm sure many people watched the inauguration, and I know Amanda Gorman's poem was so wonderfully received. It was such a beautiful poem.
Oh, yeah.
I know that in the last season of America's Got Talent, a poet, actually, a spoken word artist, was
I didn't know that.
a contestant, or maybe a
wow.
finalist, or maybe he won on America's Got Talent. So I know that poetry is really,
That's cool.
it's really making a comeback right now, which is
great.
awesome.
Nice. That's super cool.
So you have another that you'd like to share with us, correct?
I do. Yes, it's much shorter than the last one. So
Tell us a little bit about it. What was the inspiration for this one, or do you want them to hear it first?
I'll read it first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Take it away.
Thank you. I don't have a title for this poem, but I'll read it for you here. I'll tell you a story about the color of daylight, about beginnings and ends and all the music in between. It sounds like memory. the kind that reside in wood-burning fires and morning dew on blades of grass mundane. And so beautiful it hurts with a determined certainty. I try to focus every fleeting moment, praying for a slower fade. Time has offered his very best days, and rightfully stolen his borrowed moments back. He leaves embers and little melodies tucked away, so that with soft eyes and woven thoughts, I can play those records often.
It was shorter, but it packed a punch.
Okay, can I test my theory on like what
Yes.
my, because that's the first time I've heard that. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. Is that a, it made me think of when you go through things in life that are hard and then you get perspective and you're able to like look back on them with like softened eyes and like still find beauty in it. Am I close? Or am I out on a limb?
I don't think that there's a wrong answer. So I really love hearing how people interpret, because I don't think there's a single interpretation that I'm like, that's not what I was saying at all. But
We probably find
All
one.
right, so everyone leave your interpretation in the comment section. We're going to find one that is super wrong.
No, I think that that's a great takeaway from it. I was sitting, day after day in the middle of this pandemic, trying really hard to find things that inspired me. Jessica, you and I have talked about this before, that I'm really inspired by my interactions with people and the places that I see and the people that I surround myself with and the experiences that I have really, help become catalysts for my artistic work. And so I was really struggling in 2020 to come up with things that felt artistic and new, and that work that I was really proud of. And so rather than fighting to think of new things, I kind of sat into myself, and I kind of allowed myself to go through memories. And it's funny, in going through memories, I found that to be a really like healing library of things that I could actually write about. And this was kind of an ode to that every single day is kind of that opportunity, I think, to like listen for what memory has taught us. I don't know if that's the right way that I wanted to say it.
Yeah, so basically my interpretation was right.
You win.
No, that's really cool. That's really cool.
Thank you.
So you've been doing every art form imaginable. I have also seen you paint.
Just a little.
Just a little. Just one time. But we have a photo. This is you at 14.
I think.
How tall are you here? This just looks like you.
Probably 5'8", easily.
So my height. No, I'm 5'7". Wow. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. It's pretty funny, that pink tutu. Back in those ballet days, I loved my tutus.
Now, what
I
styles
wouldn't
of
call
dance?
myself.
Sorry, I
What
was
was
just going to ask, what styles of dance have you done? So you've done ballet.
She's done them all.
Have you basically just done every style at some
There's
point?
no way you haven't done them all.
Well, I haven't done so. Dance is such a broad umbrella of so many art forms, and so
Irish
have done
jig.
a lot of. I actually do know how to river dance.
That's what I'm saying. I'm assuming you've done it all.
I did a lot, growing up, I did ballet and jazz and tap and lyrical and contemporary and modern and hip hop, all those kind of studio styles. But I didn't really get into social dances and ballroom dance until I was probably a little bit later in my teens. And I wasn't really introduced to very much of that. So I'm not super proficient in tango and salsa and all of those really cool partner styles. I know a little bit. I know really the basics, but I'm not proficient in those styles. But I wish I would love to, learn more. Those are really, really beautiful art forms. But yeah, mostly just those kind of studio forms, jazz and ballet. And
do you have a favorite? I would, the modern stuff you do, I'd assume is your favorite.
Yeah, I'd say I kind of have a contemporary style, but contemporary is really a way of saying anything. Like contemporary.
No, I know. It's like saying pop. What kind of music do you play? Pop. What does that mean? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, the groundwork's laid by all the traditional forms, and contemporary just, it's kind of like martial arts. You've got like all the old school forms, and then you've got MMA, which is what everyone's doing, which is basically just a amalgamation of, pros and cons of all the different styles.
Amalgamation. Can you define that word, please?
Like a cornucopia. Like a hodgepodge.
What's cornucopia?
Like a collection.
Hodgepodge, there you go.
You mean a smorgasbord?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, there it is.
I was looking for how many like multi-syllabic words I could throw in one.
How rude. Okay, cool. We have one more thing to share of Alayna's. This is, actually, I think it's the very first thing we worked on together. And it came together like so effortlessly. I was like amazed. It was really cool. So this poem is called Sun to My Soul. We just have an audio, so we're gonna just play the audio. This is Alayna's poem, her speaking, and me on piano.
Yeah, so Jessie did the composing for this one because you are a composer. Here it is.
I never knew 3 words could sound like a song. I've repeated their diction so the memory vibrates through my carcass as I relive each vowel of your perfect enunciation. I didn't know heaven until your lips formed a phrase that ingested me whole. You uttered my favorite 4-letter word I never knew could feel like a universe imploding inside my ribcage. 3 words and I'd fallen. I knew it before your tune carried a melody. Before your eyes blinked a smile, I knew that I loved you. Beyond all the perishables and volatiles past the short term, I knew that I love you. And the reciprocation felt climactic. Like I had forgotten how to fly and you were wings I could have drowned in that moment if it had been your water in my chest. You exhaled so clearly I was afraid I'd missed it, but your objection was cloudless, and I'd never had such gratitude to sunny skies. The world was bright, like a sun to my soul, and my ears would have absorbed your lullaby all day. You loved me. Letters combined to conceive a poem more beautiful than harmony could stomach. You chose me. And I'd never been more certain that I chose you too.
Dope.
So beautiful.
So cool.
The music in that is beautiful, Jess. That piano is really what enhances that poem.
I like the phrasing of everything too. Like the pauses you took with the music, it all worked together well.
Well, there were pauses on both sides.
Yeah.
I mean, they were really cool.
Hold on.
You held back at one point on the piano, and you came in almost like a beat late. It was really, really cool.
Am I remembering
Dawn
this?
says, "Wow."
Thanks, Dawn.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm stoked everyone's here to hear this and get to know Alayna. It's super cool. I feel like, if my memory is correct, when we recorded this, Alayna, I think I went back in MIDI and fixed a couple sour notes, but the bulk of it, I think I recorded as you were talking.
Yeah, that's what's so ridiculous about it. So
Because we were just like messing
we were just
around.
playing. Yeah, you gave me a couple of notes and you asked me what sounds I liked, and we kind of talked about how we wanted it to feel. And then we did a couple of recordings where I'm pretty sure I was mic'd and I started speaking, and we played, like you would play at the same time, and I'm almost positive that's where that came about. It was just
Yeah, because I don't know how you would
on
get
the spot.
the feel down. It was, what, 2.5 years ago that we did that?
Yeah. Yeah,
It's crazy that it's been that much time.
I know.
But yeah, I don't think you'd be able to get the feel like that otherwise, because it's in a 4/4, but it's got a very free flow form. It slows up, it speeds down. It's cool.
But when we did Unremedied, it was the same way. I'm pretty sure that my spoken word was pre-recorded, but you played to while I was speaking, and when we did Dignity, it was the same way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think also
Talent.
every time we record, Alayna just reads it, and the first one, she's like, "That's it."
Uh-huh.
One take wonder.
I am.
I wish I played
almost
guitar that way. I'm like 30 takes later. Let's comp this all together.
Because it's funny when you're speaking poetry, you have to do it while you're unaware, because once you become aware of how you're going to speak, you start overdoing it. And all of a sudden you're over enunciating every word, and you hear it when it comes back at you, and you're like, whoa, what happened? Why am I speaking like that?
Well,
That's a really good point, and I feel that way. Don't ask me when, but there have been a few times where I've had to do some acting, and my first go at it is the only one that's entertainable.
Well, I think any artistic endeavor like that, there was I read a quote about drumming the other day that was like, oh, that's cool. They said, when you're learning the drum, you're playing to a metronome all the time. And they basically said, don't play to the click, play in time and use the click to check yourself. And I think it's a really difficult thing. There's a difference between playing, a C chord even on guitar, because that's what you're supposed to play in the score, and playing it because that's what you're communicating to people, right? And I think that with poetry, that's the difference, is if you become too aware of it, now you're focusing on how to communicate it to people instead of letting it naturally just come forward.
Instead of just communicating how it was meant to be communicated. Yeah, absolutely. I
think
agree
that's
with
the
that.
hardest. That's the hardest thing in art, transmitting the ideas, getting those feelings to,
That's the performance part of it. Yeah, that's cool.
Absolutely.
So, Alayna, for everyone here that is new to knowing you, what do you have coming up? What's in your horizon? How can people stay connected to you so that they'll be able to enjoy your various forms of art?
So, as everybody knows, we made Unremedied a few years ago, and that film is still circulating. We made Dignity as well, which is a new film that we made last year. It's based around domestic violence, spreading awareness for domestic violence, and a very similar setup. I wrote the poem, and Jessie wrote the music, and it's a short film kind of on, trying to raise awareness and understanding. Mm-hmm. And that is on the film festival circuit as well. Actually, we were just at the Hollywood Art and Movie Awards this weekend, which was a lot of fun. And I'm, constantly putting up on my social media when we're screening at new festivals. And so I think that's probably the best way to follow us. And
so they could follow you maybe on Instagram at Alayna Jennings.
Yes, first and last name, Alayna Jennings.
And your website. Alayna Jennings. Oh, okay, and Facebook too. Is that a personal page or a business page on Facebook?
It's a personal page, but I put all that information up there as well.
Cool. And
you have a website too, right?
I do, yeah. So you can go to alaynajennings.com, and it'll take you to. It's actually under Dream Sideways Productions is our website, but if you type in alaynajennings.com, it'll track you back to our website.
I'm throwing it up here real quick into the live stream as well, so that people can easily get to it. So There we go. We've got dreamsidewaysproductions.com or alaynajennings.com. So you can check that out to keep supporting her. And yeah, I mean, you've got...
and follow her on Instagram because she posts short clips of dancing and poetry excerpts that are really fun to follow. So definitely follow her there.
Yeah, and the videos are circulating right now through the festival circuit. And so what that means for anybody like the Hollywood Festival that she was just a part of, they're doing everything now, obviously, virtually. And so it's cool because you can spend, I mean, they're not very expensive for the tickets. It's a nominal, what was it? For
$10.
For the last one, like $10 for screening?
It was a $7 ticket for the like movie block that we were in. So it's not very expensive, and it's a good experience. You see a lot of really cool films.
Yeah, there were 12, I think, different videos, just different interpretations of dance, and they were shot really, really cool, and they all had different concepts and ideas, and it's kind of a fun, different way to spend the evening with the family too. So yeah, follow Alayna, support her. That's going to be an easy way for you to see some of the amazing work that she's putting out.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah, it was really fun. Okay, everybody, we're going to say bye to Alayna.
Yeah, Alayna, thank you so much. We got a couple more songs for you. So, Alayna, thanks for joining us. Great seeing you.
Thanks, you guys. Bye.
Bye.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it was cool.
So talented.
I know. So, two more songs. We're going to do Jeff Buckley's version of Hallelujah, and then we're going to do an original that we had some last minute ideas on. So we'll see how that comes out.
We'll see how it all comes out. So we played Lover You Should Have Come Over earlier, the Jeff Buckley song. This is his take on Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah. I'm going to give it a shot. This is one of those scary songs where you watch Jeff Buckley do it, and it's just solo, and the guitar arrangement's really cool. So if I mess up some notes...
Do you want to free your neck? You look...
I'm going to move over. I'm not going to stay here the whole time.
Gotcha. I was going to say, you're going to make it harder for yourself in this little nook and cranny.
Here. No, so we're gonna give this a shot. See how it comes together.
Okay.
I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do ya? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah. Faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof. Her beauty in the moonlight overthrew you. She tied you to the kitchen chair. She broke your throne, cut your hair, and from your lips she drew the hallelujah. Hallelujah. here before. I've seen this room and I walk this floor. I used to live alone before I knew ya. Seen your flag on the marble arch, but love is not a victory march. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. 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 Well, there was a time you let me know what's really going on below, but now you never show that to me, do ya? But remember when I moved in you, and the holy dove was moving too, and every breath we drew was hallelujah. 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 Maybe there's a God above, but all I ever learned from love was how to shoot somebody who outdrew ya. It's not a cry that you hear at night, and it's not someone who's seen the light. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
That was good.
You're
That's a
alive.
hard- I'm
You're alive.
Whew. God, that's a hard solo. It's hard because it's like
It
there's-
sounds hard. Good job.
Well, there's not very much going on, and so you have to be like perfect with everything. It's not one of those things of like.
Oh, look at these comments rolling in. They love you.
Thank you. I'm glad that you loved it. That was for my grandma Patty. So hopefully she was watching it. Oh, grandma's clapping. Good. Also, we tried. So my mom gave us a tip last week. I'm hoping let us know how the sound is. Without boring you all too much, she was saying that the volume levels, because Jessie has a really dynamic voice, so we made some adjustments to compress the sound a little bit more this week. So hopefully things are coming in really clearly and can be heard. Yeah, we're excited to listen back on it. So thank you, Mom, for that tip. Moms never stop caring.
Oh. Okay. So, hey, Irv, thanks for joining. You know what's cool about taking the time to learn that? That's the first time he's performed it, but it'll get even better once you get it under your fingertips.
Oh yeah. It'll be great once I get that under my fingertips. It's such a beautiful arrangement.
It is.
Yeah, go listen. If you haven't, I know I mentioned it earlier. Go check out the album Grace by Jeff Buckley and just listen to it start to finish. It's incredible.
Okay, so this last song that we're going to do for you, this is a song called Perfect. This is an older song of mine that I don't play much, I never put out. And I was talking to a friend of mine, Cameron, yesterday. He was giving me some notes on another song of mine, and he was saying, like, you know, really good writers, they're actually really good rewriters. And just this idea that, you know, kind of what Alayna was saying earlier, how you have that inspiration and it just kind of pours out of you. And I'm not a super, like, trained Nashville awesome songwriter where, like, I can sit down with any topic and put together something that's, like, really impactful. Most of the time it's I'm feeling something, I'm actually personally impacted, and then it kind of, like, vomits out of me, like Alayna said, so poetically. So, but it was cool going back on the song and applying the knowledge that I have now about the craft of songwriting. And then, so we were, just before we started going live, we were having some last minute ideas. So.
Yeah, we've been in the studio kind of working out production elements with this. So I'm going to play some keys over here while she's playing those. This is a cool piano. This is a Yamaha Transacoustic piano. So it can be like a normal piano, but then if you turn on the keyboard function, it can be a keyboard too. So we're going to give this song a shot.
So you're really showing off today. You're gonna play. He's gonna play.
I'm just gonna be silent because if I don't defend myself now, you're just mean.
No, I was saying that I was joking.
I know.
Oh, okay.
I know. I'm joking too.
Okay. Sometimes I come off as mean, apparently, and I'm afraid now.
No, right now.
Okay, good.
Right now, you're perfect.
Sometimes my
That's the name of the song.
All right, the song's called Perfect. Let's play it. That's not the sound. Okay. Hold on one sec. I want to make sure I don't mess this up. Hey, okay.
Sweet.
Let's do it. Okay. We always say we know we're both unhappy when we fight. I bottled up all my pain and now the pressure hurts my mind. It's easy to run to the nearest exit sign you can find. I know that's how you protected yourself when you were just a child. We could sweep it under the rug, but there's just so much dust. Wouldn't it be nice to breathe clean, fresh air? Even if you were perfect, I wouldn't love you more. Even if you fell again, I'd still open the door. Just wanna know that you're sorry, know that you're sorry. Just wanna know that you're sorry. Stick to your guns, never wanna run the risk of being wrong. Keep everyone at a safe distance. Well, I played into this too long. Open your mind, let me help you find a way to speak your truth. You'll never find one person alive
takes two to find a cure. Even if you were perfect, I wouldn't love you more. Even if you fell again, I'd still open my door. Just wanna know that you're sorry, know that you're sorry, know that you're sorry. Need you to know that I'm sorry, know that I'm sorry. So we always say we know we're both unhappy when we fight.
Cool. That came out cool.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited to listen back on that. It was our first time trying that new arrangement, so hopefully you all like the song.
Okay, well, every show we do is our first time.
Yeah, trying a lot of the arrangements.
Yeah.
So it's our way we test new stuff before we put it out.
You guys are our guinea pigs. My high note was pitch perfect? Really?
On Hallelujah, she was talking
Oh.
about. Yeah, that song sounded great too. Cool. Well, that's the show, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Hi, Jan. Thank you so much for joining. Hope you guys are well. Hi, Mom. Mom wants to know if the cats are locked up in the castle tower. Oh, I was like,
think the
what?
cats are just asleep.
You know what? They are less naughty recently. They're calming down. Also, our little kitten, the white one that's usually running around,
Where are they? I'm gonna go grab cats.
she okay, I don't know if anyone else experienced this, but like I have realized in the past week she has serious food aggression issues, and our older cat Felix, the big tuxedo cat, I was holding him, and I know his body well. Like I just know, I'm in tune with what's going on with him because he can't talk. So I gotta Anyway, I was feeling his ribs. He was getting skinny, and I realized that the little kitten was eating her food way faster than him, and then booting him and eating his food. So we've been doing hand feeding, which has been really helpful. But if anyone has dealt with any food aggression issues in cute kittens, and you have tips, let me know. But Felix is much happier. He's getting his full portion now, so he'd like to thank the Academy.
Holding hands.
Yeah, but they're chilling out. They're doing good. They're doing super good. All right. You're trying to make them fight.
You gonna get along?
Yeah.
Come on.
She's thinking about it.
Okay.
All right. We love you
Love you
guys.
all.
Thanks for tuning in. And
See you next week.
next week we have a special guest. It is Chris Avetta. Beautiful music.
When's the Super Bowl, by the way? We got to be aware of that because I'm not sure exactly when the Super Bowl is. Somebody message us. Let us know when is the Super Bowl.
I'm sure we can Google it.
Okay. Well, whenever the Super Bowl is,
We're not that out of it.
We're going to take that week, and we might just air like a pre-recorded something. So we'll still be here doing something. We might not be live, but we're gonna keep this up. So yeah, we'll let you know. And as always, please like Jessie, subscribe on YouTube. Also, one last thing: if you're watching this on Facebook, we have learned recently that to become a YouTube partner, you have to have 4,000 streaming hours every year. So if you do watch this on Facebook, we are encouraging people to move over to YouTube. It's just as easy. You just go to youtube.com/Jessie Lark Music, and you'll be able to log in with your Google account. It'll be just like what you have on Facebook, but it counts towards her watch time there. So just a thought, but hey, thank you all so much.
Thank you guys. Bye.
Take care.